Good, good afternoon. Hello, I'm early. Because you know why I'm early? Because I'm always ready. So I'm just gonna share with you some of my accomplishments for this weekend, past weekend. This one was the natural show. And this one was the Saturday show, bodybuilding. And I have great stories to share with you. So here we have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Okay, let's get the chair. It's so wonderful to be with you. It's great to be with you. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yes, it has been an amazing journey. And I have great things to share with you. So I don't know. Let me calm down. It's so exciting, it's just like beautiful. So let me get the mic over here. How is the sound? And YouTube? Let me check YouTube here. Because I get so excited. I think there. Swipe to the left to, okay, see, YouTube, Facebook. Sonia, good afternoon, everybody. How is YouTube? No. Instagram is always ready. Facebook is slow. And YouTube is coming. Okay, well, where do you want me to start? I know I'm early, but it's the way it goes. That's what happens when you are always ready for whatever it is that the day is going to bring. So okay, I'm waiting for somebody to tell me, where do you want me to start? Or you just want me to start talking? It's nice to have feedback. I want to talk about things that you guys, I'm interested in sharing with you. So it gives me like a GPS in what direction to take. Well, let's have a drink. At least let's have a drink. Oh my God. This is my tea. Okay, nobody's talking. Nobody have an idea. Well, I'm going to share with you just part of the things that I learned during this weekend as a part of the process of achieving, when you set goals and you want to achieve them. But what happened, you always end up doing what you're supposed to do, right? I'm seeing if somebody has an idea. Oh, nobody has an idea, I'm gonna go. Okay. So my takeaway from my last show this past weekend was amazing because it really gave me a new beginning. For me, this is a new beginning. This is a new start. And this has been always my philosophy in life, that you have to reinvent yourself, recreate yourself, rejuvenate yourself. And the way to do that is based on the experiences that you have every single day. And every single day is a new day. It's a new beginning. It's a new start. And it's just as the new day is the same thing with experiences that you have. I had doubts in my last competition my doubt started. Yeah, I'm gonna document it here, so I have exactly the dates what happened. I computed May 3rd. So I started my drama. My drama started April 24. In April 24, I started doubting about my competition, because you start making judgments about how do you supposed to look, or how do you like to look, or how you look in other shows. And that's my point of reference. My point of reference is my first years of competition, because I was just like amazingly cast, shredded, just perfect, right? So you always want to repeat that same experience. But you know what happened? You never can repeat the same. You can never swim in the same river twice, right? So, and this is what I've been trying to do, to swim in the same river, which was 2005 when I started competing again. But you cannot do that because all the changes that happen. So April 24, I doing my walking meditation. You know that I have a ritual. The first thing that I do in the morning is my spiritual work, my spiritual workout. I work on my spiritual development every single day, because in my experience, your your spiritual strength, power, development is even more important than your physical development. So I started doubting myself. I'm not competing, so I'm competing. No, 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 no. And you go into this drama in your head. You have a, what do I call it? Let's see. What if tripping? You start tripping. That's what it was. I was tripping in my head that I wasn't looking the way I wanted to look. So when I reached the mile number 3, because I walk every single day 6 miles, 2, 3 walking, and when I'm coming back, I'm jogging, very light jog, but I jog. So in mile number 3, just in the way when I'm going to start coming back, I have a bench. And in that part, there's water. I drink water. I do my push-ups. I do my abdominals. I do like 200 or 300 abdominals every single day. So, and this is the bench that after, hello, Rosa, after I do my abdominals, my abdominals, then look up to the sky, and I keep, I'm absorbing the beauty and the power of the early morning, because there is a lot of power in early morning. It's just that's what the energy, that's the growth, that's the beginning of the day. That's amazing. It's an amazing experience. If you've never done it, I will highly recommend that you try at least once in your life. So I'm lying down on the bench, looking up to the sky, and I'm down and talking to God, saying, I don't know, na na na, and I'm going to my tripping in my head, my what if tripping. We're gonna call it what if tripping. And then I get this revelation, and this is how I wrote it in my book, in my goal book. I wrote it in Thursday, the 24th, April 24th. And then what I get is the revelation in my head that says that you are not doing this show. You are not competing. You are not in this for the reason you think. You are here to do this because I want you to inspire. I want you to be, well, it tells me things that I don't feel comfortable sharing about what God says to me, why I was doing the show. And then completely, it was a change of paradigm for me, because I'm looking at me competing in a particular way, getting the trophy, looking this way and looking that way. And then God has another picture. There is the Josefina picture and it's God's picture. And it's the same thing with your life. You have a picture, but God has a better picture. Okay. Keep that in mind. I said, wow, I was so impressed. I was so happy and excited. And I finished my run, my jog, and I made happy attitude because, you get this confirmation that this is the reason you're doing this. Okay, the next day, that's the Friday morning when I'm doing my ritual again, because I do this ritual every single day. I start at 4:30 in the morning. I start at 3, but I leave my house at 4:30. So on Friday, I'm and you still come back to the doubt. I still went back on Friday to the doubt. Remember, Thursday, this enlightenment, this amazing experience. Oh my God, change of paradigm, blah 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 blah. Friday, I'm doing my walk and I'm still going back to the doubts. And this is what, and whatever books you're following or reading, you're going to find out that there are different ways to express it, but it's the little me and the big me, the little me and the great me. And there is always a struggle. You're always wrestling with the best part of you and the worst part of you. And because the worst part of you is we always practicing the worst, that's the one who has more strength and power. And if you make up your mind to practice the best part of you more often, then you become stronger and stronger and stronger. And those attacks will come, but very seldom. Okay, so I get Friday, I get back. And then another revelation on Friday as I'm walking, I hear God in my head, this is my experience, saying, I'm going with you. Don't worry, I'm going with you. I'm going with you. I am with you. I hear that, and I have that sense of comfort, that sense of peacefulness, that sense of comfort. You feel secure. You feel, okay, fine. So that was Friday. Then now that was Friday the 26th. Now we are competing. We are competing the following week, right? So I have 1 week. And then what happened? My weight didn't go down. My weight was 127 pounds. And for me, 127 pounds is a lot, especially in competition. Hi, Mario. Especially in competition. So 127 pounds Monday, 127 pounds Tuesday, 127 pounds on Wednesday, Thursday. Oh my God. And then I'm really freaking out because how can you, and then I put my bathing suit and to me, I look gross, pathetic. I say, I cannot do this. I cannot compete. I'm not going to compete. It's so horrible. My weight is 127. I usually compete in 120 pounds, 118, 119, 120, 122. That's the range. And that is, so I just was so sad because I didn't fulfill my goal. Like I said to myself, I'm going to compete, and then the process is not working. And this is what we're going to talk about today: is the process. My process was not working for the whole week, and then by Thursday afternoon, that was Thursday last week was Thursday was May 1st. May 1st. And I'm competing Saturday the 3rd. Okay? May 1st, Thursday. You know what I did? I was so down. I called the hotel. I canceled my appointment. And then I text my coach and I told my coach, I don't feel like ready. I'm looking like 6 weeks out, and instead of 3 days out, I put my bathing suit on and it doesn't look that good. And so I give my coach my stuff, my freaking out tripping, my tripping. Of course your coach has to listen to you. And he said, okay, well, I know you've been through a lot and da 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 da. And then I had an appointment with him to work out Friday because I usually, when I'm competing, I usually work out, but I like to work out on Friday before I leave for the show because you pump your muscles and you feel pumped and you feel great. So I canceled my appointment with him, with my coach. I said, I don't think I'm gonna make it tomorrow because I'm giving my tripping thing. So that was Thursday. Okay, all that happened last Thursday before showtime. By 3 o'clock in the morning, Friday, my weight went down to 124. Listen, 127 to 24. So 3 o'clock in the morning. Of course, I wasn't going to do my ritual at 3 that day because because I'm tripping. What if tripping? And I text my coach. I sent him a text and I said, "Hey, is you still available for 9:45? I will go and train because I knew if I did my training, I would feel better, even if I didn't compete." So he said, "I don't have available 9:45, but you can make it at 9. I will be ready for 9 o'clock." And I said, "Yes." Now, that's Friday, the day before the show. The show was May 3rd, Saturday. I go and I walked, and I had the most amazing, powerful, beautiful workout. And what happened is when you feel that you're depriving yourself, this is with me at least, when I feel that I didn't do what I supposed to do, I get more hungry. I get more like when I disappoint myself, I feel like I have to really show the opposite to me, show to me that I can be better than my mediocrity and my excuses and my reasoning and my tripping. So I had this powerful, I was pumped. My upper body was amazing. Oh my God, I felt so good. I'm thinking, well, I can do the show on Sunday. I can do the Sunday show, which will be this show, the Sunday show, which it is natural. This is a natural. You can see natural show. I mean, two shows, Saturday and Sunday. So I figured, well, I can do the Sunday show because now I'm 124 pounds and I keep losing water, I keep dehydrating, and then I can go down to 120 because I usually lose like 3-4 pounds of water when I'm dehydrating. Let me see here. So I felt so good. So, okay, I'm gonna do the Sunday show. I was thinking, texting the promoter of the show and saying, "Hey, I made a mistake. I supposed to register for the Sunday show, but I made a mistake and I registered for the Saturday show. Just give my little tripping so they can take my registration for the Saturday show and shift it to the Sunday show." So keep that in mind. I get in my car feeling so strong. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go now to my club because I have three gyms. So the gym where I train by myself is a club. It's an amazing club with jacuzzi, sauna, whatever you want. It's everything in there. So I'm gonna go to my club and I'm just gonna go in the jacuzzi. I'm gonna go in the sauna. I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna relax and get ready to leave Saturday for my show on Sunday. Okay, I get in my car. I'm getting in my car. Then I remember that song. So, guess what happened? My phone. My phone started ringing. And it says, call from Maria Tomita. Hi, Abby, my doll. Mariana Tomita is the wife of the promoter of the show. So she's a promoter. She's the wife of the both promoters. Maria, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I found that so weird because I was thinking sending this text to her. And I didn't send it because I was driving. So when I heard the phone announcing the phone call was from this person that I'm thinking about texting a few minutes ago, I was shocked. I said, "What's going on?" So it started becoming supernatural. Everything started turning into the supernatural. So I answered the phone and I said, "Maria, hi, Josefina, how are you?" I'm great. "Oh, Maria." And then she said, "Are you coming to the show tomorrow?" And I started doing my tripping. I said, "Oh, no, I'm not doing the tomorrow show. I'm doing the Sunday show." She said, "No, no, 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 no. I want you to do tomorrow show." And I said, "Really?" And she was so emphatic. She was so confident. She was so powerful. And of course, I'm feeling the same way because I just finished an amazing workout. And when you have amazing workouts, you feel powerful. So I said, "Really, Maria?" She said, "Yes, I want you to be here tomorrow." And I said, "Do really?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Okay, Maria, if you want me to be there tomorrow, I will be there because at this point, I cannot avoid somebody calling me, telling me, 'I want you here tomorrow,' and me, tripping." So I said, "Yes, okay, I will be there." After I said that, she said, "I want to know about I want you to answer these three questions. Tell me, when did you start bodybuilding? uh, how long have you been doing it? And why do you keep doing it?" Now, when she says that to me, something clicked in my head, said something is cooking. Something is cooking because what would she say to me? Send me a mini bio. And I said, "Okay, I'll send it to you." So I was so impacted by this evolving of the supernatural, and I started living like I was in a dream. It's just like you thinking this is what you want to do, but God's plans are much better than yours, and it's taking me in that direction. And I went to my club and I packed my car and I started texting her the information she asked me. And then I said, I cannot go in the jacuzzi. I cannot go in the sun. I have to go home back. I don't have reservation. I canceled the reservation at the hotel. I know everything that it has to be. It takes a week to get ready. The packing, the food that I need to take for this today for the thing that we eat when we competing, like potatoes, sweet potato, white potato, or rice. So, oh my God! So I sent that and I said, "I'm going home." I came home and oh my God! I don't have a reservation because I canceled my hotel reservation. If I'm going too fast and too excited, let me know and I come down. But this is so amazing. And so I get home and boom, boom, I called the hotel and I said, my reservation was canceled by mistake. I didn't want to say, what I just told you. So I said, "Oh, okay." And then she looked, "What is the number? What is the registration number? The confirmation number?" I give the confirmation number. Okay, and then she said, "Oh, again, can you tell me why the reservation was canceled?" And I said, "By mistake." And she uh, um, activated my reservation just like that. And that is very rare that the hotel don't give you a hard time. But anyway, not to me. Immediately, I got my reservation back. I prepared. I did my thing. I remember that the revelation that I had May the 24th was God telling me, this is for inspiration. So, wow, everything when I got to the hotel, because the event is at the hotel, everything happens at the hotel. The event happens in one venue, which is a hotel. My picture, a big poster of the winner from last year, my picture there. I walk in, people say, "Oh, is that you?" And the people wanted to take the pictures with me. And I was just shocked because what was going on in my head and me thinking I didn't want to come. I wanted to cancel. I was ready. If Maria didn't call me, I would probably make Sunday, but no Saturday. wow, and the reaction of people, and people so happy, and people it was just, that was only Friday evening when you do the check-in. Well, again, the Saturday, now we are in the competition, and I'm there, I doing my routine, my thing, and then when I finished that, you guys saw the video. I posted the video in my YouTube channel. It's also here in Instagram and Facebook. When the announcer said you have to stay on stage because we have a surprise for you, and the surprise was a recognition of achievement. It says Inspiration Award. Remember what God told me on Thursday morning when I'm lying down on the bench asking God for guidance and orientation? And God told me inspiration, and I made a video before this in Spanish. The people in Spanish know that I told them this before it happened, what God told me. And then it was just mind-blowing. I mean, I just could not believe, and this is Inspiration Award. Congratulations on outstanding achievement. So you see what happened. This has too many takeaway. Of course, and they asked me if I wanted to say something. Of course, I said something, and you had the little speech that I gave that night, Saturday night. It was just amazing, and this is the thing that when you are working, and this is what I always share with you: when you work in your body, your mind, and your spirit, and when you are obedient to what your belief system and your value system, and and you want to get out of alignment, like in my case, I only can speak for myself. In my case, when I wanted to get out of alignment in God's plan for me, and his purpose for me, and the reason that he had me to this day in this planet, although I hear it, I knew it, I felt it. You feel the revelation, you feel the force of the spirit, you feel that divine energy, but you still want to get out of alignment. And God is so amazing in my case that got me into alignment. And he uses all the resources, all the whatever God needs to use, or life, what you call it, whatever you want, I don't care. But it uses all the resources to bring you back into your greatness. Although you want to sabotage yourself, like me. I want to know because I don't look this. And this is the thing that is so important for us to trust the process. And this is what happened that I like to share with you about. I don't know if I stop for a few minutes and read, but we talk about where in that process I failed. What part of the process I didn't do that I came into doubting that I was ready for my shot. And then, grandma. Okay, lovely princess, the last time. Okay, let me talk about my takeaway from my competition. How, Michelle? Okay, this is and this is what I learned. Let me put the air on. I got warm. I got hot. Oh yeah, it was 75, we need 70. Okay. Okay. This is my takeaway. This is not the end. This is the beginning, and this is another thing that I will share with you also. Ana Ligia. Um, One of the things that for me, this is not the end. This is the beginning, and all this experience, all this I shared with you from last week. Um, it really has taken me to a new beginning, a new me, a new reinventing of myself, a new creation of myself. And I tell you in a little while the changes that I have made to achieve my golden what? Golden era. Okay, so this is not the end, this is the beginning. In my case, and for me, it's the beginning. It's my new beginning, my new beginning, my new beginning. But when you have this new beginning, then you have to be wise. You have to be wise about the goals you set for yourself. You have to be wise about the goals you set for yourself. And the goal you set for yourself, at least it has to be in alignment with your divine purpose. So we're gonna be this. You find all this. My book number 1 and Divine Destiny. These two books. I have book 1 and book 5. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about this divine destiny, that being wise about the goals you set, because the goal that you set, you're gonna be in alignment with your divine destiny. To be in alignment with your divine destiny. And why do you have to be wise about the goals you set? Because one of the most important keys in goal setting is how you have to define your goals. You have to define what you need to do to accomplish your goal. What you need to do to accomplish your goal. Hi, Cynthia. So, number 1, to be wise and about the goals you set. You don't set any kind of goal. You set goals that are in alignment with your divine purpose, with your divine destiny, with your purpose in life. Number 2, one of the most important points in this goal setting and this alignment is to define, and this is the key, define what you need to do every single day to accomplish that goal. And that is called the process. And what the reason I had doubts in my head, the reason I was tripping 5 days before showtime, it was because I didn't follow every single step of the process. And when you don't follow when you're not faithful to the process, guess what? You have doubt. That's what happened to me. So the process, the most important thing is to define what you need to do to accomplish you. What do I need to do? What do I need to do a week before competition, 2 weeks before competition? You know what I need to do? The process for the last 8 days, 10 days, is about what you eat and about the cardio you do. You have to do cardio twice a day, minimum, twice a day. And the amount of food that you eat is very small and very little carbohydrates, more protein, and of course, you are in a deficit and the energy level is very low because you don't have carbohydrates. You need your carbohydrates. And people who want to improve their muscle mass and all that, don't want to eat carbohydrates because they think carbohydrates are bad. You're in trouble. Anyhow, so I didn't follow the process. I failed. I follow it, but halfway. You cannot do things halfway because then that's when the doubt comes to you. Because I assure you, if I would have followed the process exactly to the T, then I would never have doubts like I did in previous shows. And then what I discovered was I've been doing the process of the last 2-3 weeks of competition before competition. I've been doing that on my own. I need to change that. Because you know what? You need accountability. You need somebody to look at you and say, you need to eat more carbohydrates. You need to have more proteins. You have to have a little bit of fat, And you look at I look at myself, okay, you know what I mean? But if you have somebody else Making the judgment, making the call, and how you look is a big difference. That's why in my previous shows, I was shredded, fat, lean, mean, unbelievable. So I made a change. I'm gonna be working for my next show for the next 6 months. I'm gonna be working with somebody who's gonna be coaching me and preparing me for show. And you're gonna see the difference. You're gonna see the difference. So anybody who wants to sponsor me or want to help me to pursue this amazing goal, that it was very exciting talking to this person yesterday. It's just I'm not gonna tell you much, but I'll tell you in the future. But it's really exciting. It's a really exciting because you have a new goal, you have a new perspective, you have a new paradigm. The thing with me is I know I can be better. I don't know about you, but I know I can be better. I know that the competition that I did last week is not my best. It's just I needed to go through that to come to the conclusion, the learning that Josefina, you need help. And that's what God never let me quit. You need to go through the process. You need to go through the process because it's going through that process, you come out amazingly. I feel unbelievable. So that is the process. The process is, I think, for your goal, you have to define what you need to do every single day to achieve your goal. That is called the process. And the thing is that this is something that you have to do for yourself. Nobody can do this for you, okay? Nobody can do this for you. This is something that you have to do for yourself. You have to have the discipline to execute every single day the process. To fulfill the process every single day to the T, you have to have discipline. And I'm not talking about just discipline. You have to have self-discipline. Excuse me, self-discipline. And because okay, so you have to have the self-discipline that you don't want to do it, but you do it. Because that's one of the decisions. We make hundreds of decisions every single day. Every single day just to eat. You make more than 300 decisions every single day just to eat, to choose what you want to eat. Now, and then what happens is like you have two decisions every single day. You have things that you want to do, like workout. Okay, the thing you're supposed to do to achieve your goals, but you don't want to do it. Okay, the thing that you want, you have to do. The thing that is part of the process, the step that you have to follow to achieve your goal, but you don't want to do it. The key here is, can you make yourself do it? Can you have the self-discipline to make yourself do it? Can you, even if you don't want to go work out, you make yourself go. Even if you don't want to do the second cardio, you make yourself do it. Even if you don't have the energy and you feel lousy and you feel lousy because you don't eating, you make yourself do it. That's self-discipline. The other discipline is the other choice that you have, the thing that you don't supposed to do, but you want to do. The thing that you don't supposed to do, but you want to do. And that is a great example. Paul, in the book of, I think it's in Corinthians, that Paul talks about the thing that I don't want to do, I do. And the thing that I have to do, I don't do. So that this is nothing new under the sun. We always go through that. And the key is the thing that I don't supposed to do, to have the self-discipline to walk away from those things. To have the self-discipline to walk away from those things. And that a lot of time when you acting just only with the strength of your flesh, you always are working out or dealing with this issue only from the point of view of the human point of view. If you only are counting on your motivation and your strength, physical strength, then you're gonna be weak. Because when you have this other connection, you have this other element entity, you have this other energy, this other power working in your favor, it's going to happen to you what happens to me, that it just pulls you away out of the tripping. You stop tripping, and then life start presenting people in your life like Maria calling. Everything started flowing in a beautiful, beautiful, powerful way. And then when I'm on stage, I see why. I see the why. We never know the why. The why, only God knows the why. My job is to obey. My job is to follow the process. If I know that the process has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steps, I should follow them in order, because that is the part of the process that is going to allow me not to have self-doubt and not to start tripping. Okay. Now, when we make the right choices, then we are able to always make progress. And that's true. When you make the right choices, you always make progress. That makes sense, right? Towards whatever you want to achieve in your life. So that's why making the right choices is so important. It's very important to make the right choices. You might be wondering, but okay, what are the right choices? The right choices are the choices that are in alignment with your core value, with what you believe, what your value system, what you believe about what you got, your life is all about, what you believe that you want to do. All that makes that beautiful, beautiful map of who you are as your values. And then staying faithful to those values, regardless, no matter what. And then listening to the calling. My coach gave me an amazing workout. He didn't make a judgment about me not going. Nobody knew I was going except for God. Because I was thinking, no, I'm just doing the Sunday show. Then, my coach gave me an amazing workout, no making judgment, no questioning, no criticizing, no condemning. You telling me, well, you canceled the show, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. Beautiful, beautiful, loving environment. Then I get a phone call from Maria Tomita. And then I go in the hotel. Then I get the reservation reinstated without questions. Then I go to the competition. Then people are so excited to see me and happy and joyful, everybody. And then I'm competing on Saturday night, and then I get this amazing recognition. So this is why we don't know why. Only God knows why. My job is to obey and follow the process. And with that, I say pow, you say wow. Pow. Wow. Okay, any questions before any questions? Another thing that I learned, how important is to treat other people the way you want to be treated. I've been competing for 20 years since 2005, and I'm always being myself. I can't say being nice, myself. And the thing that you can detect and how you treat other people is the way people react when they see you. If people see you and they react that they want to run away from you, oh my God, there comes this woman, blah, 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 and they run away, they don't want to see you, well, that says a lot. And the opposite of that is when people see you, they're excited to see you. And I learned that in this past weekend, because you treat people nicely, you treat people with respect, you treat people with kindness, you're always nice to people, you don't go with an attitude no matter what, you will get back exactly what you put out. So that's another take away from me from that weekend. Treat other people the way you want to be treated, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. You don't know. Another thing that you don't know is that you have to be nice to people on your way up because you might need them on your way down. That is life. Okay, when you have an arrogant attitude, you think you know you're the best and you know it all, and and you be nasty to people. That's a big problem. Be nice to people on your way up because you might need them on your way down. Another thing that I learned also is the accountability. You have to own it. You have to take responsible for what you didn't do right. What part of the process you didn't follow through? Why did you have the doubt? Why did you have the questioning? Why did you have the tripping? Okay? Take accountability. Don't blame other people. Oh, my coach. Oh, well, no, it's all about me. It's about my decision. Take on it, take accountability, take responsibility. Don't start blaming other people. Don't start accusing other people, saying somebody else's fault, but not my fault. No, it's my fault because if I would have followed my process the way it's supposed to be, it will be, I've never had the doubts, okay? But it was beautiful. It's everything works together for good for those who love God and are called according to his design and purpose. Because going through this amazing experience increases my faith, increases my power, increases my youth, increases my ambition, increases my determination. To the thing is that I'm gonna promise you, the next time you see me competing, you're gonna say, "Wow," and I say, "Pow," because I'm taking this step to be better. You have to be proactive, and you have to take responsibility and have that sense of accountability, no blaming other people, no assigning responsibility to other people because it's all about you. You are the one responsible, you are the one in charge. Because another thing and this is the beautiful thing that also God taught me with on Thursday, April 24th, when I was in the bench doing my abdominal, that it's no, when God changed my paradigm, it's not about competing with anybody else, which I always felt I'm not competing with anybody else, I'm competing with me. But it's not about competing with anybody else. It's about you being the best in everything you do. So, and this is when God taught me, this is not about the trophy. This is not about winning. This is you doing the job that I assign you to do. Oh my God. That it just gives me the joy of my life. It gives me a reason to continue. Like you guys probably know, sometimes I said to you, I tell God every single morning, not since my last competition, God, what am I doing here? What am I doing? I've done everything. I want to go home. Take me with you today. Every night, please take me home. And no, except the last few days since I competed, because it's a sense of rejuvenation. It's a new beginning. That's what I said in the beginning. It's a new beginning. It's a new start. I have a sense of, because see, I have changed the view. My view has changed about my purpose. Isn't it amazing? My view has shifted. My paradigm has changed. It's all about officially about inspiration, which a lot of you always in your messages say, "Oh, you are an inspiration." But I take it like, I take it like, okay, like when people say, "Oh, you are an inspiration." Now I understand. Now I understand. It used to kind of bother me when people would say, "Oh, you're such an inspiration." And I said, "Okay, so what? Big deal." But now I understand. And thank you so much. I understand because I got a different understanding, a new, a new uh, interpretation of the purpose of life. Life is just a beginning every single moment, every single day. So, what an amazing and profound message. Oh, thank you, Cara. Thank you so much. I love you, girl. And thank you. And So it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be very exciting. And if you guys in the future want to participate in this amazing journey that I'm embarking in the next few days, um, thank you, Carol. Carol, so you want to be the people who want to help or can participate for me to be, because, okay, let me tell you a hint. You know, I told you many times that I've never been interested in becoming a pro, okay? No, nothing my thing, you know? But talking to the person who's gonna be coaching me, preparing me for the next shows, the idea floated organically that me in my 80s for next year going and competing to become a pro when I'm in my 80 years old. That will blow them away. See, you want to think about changing paradigm? Imagine that. But for that, that takes, that takes money. That paying a coach, that takes money. So my point is, if anybody wants to cooperate, I don't know how to do it, but sponsor me for the next year about just doing that, because he will be. And the beautiful thing, this person I talked to yesterday, if that person is on the same page that I am, that he believes in that. He believes that I can be better. He believes that you can blow people's mind, showing that you can be 80, 79, 80, and be an amazing way. So, it's just, I'm gonna be talking about that more. I'm gonna probably, anybody has an idea how we can set up a plan, a program that people can sponsor me for the next 6 months. I'm gonna start working out with him now until 6 months from now, 6 months. So this 6 months now, next year, then I will sign up for. I think I'm gonna work with him every 6 months of the year, because I start competing in May. So 6 months will be great. So if anybody has an idea on how we can raise funds, so I can go to nationals, I can pay this guy, I can take him with me, because all that costs money. The coach is not going to go with you in a competition, and who's going to pay for that? So you have to pay for that. So it's a very expensive sport, So it's an idea. If people want to sponsor me, that will be great. And if not, God is my sponsor. So I'm not worried about it. But this morning, when I'm doing my walking meditation, I thought, oh my God, it would be beautiful. My community to be a part of this success. My community to be a part of this challenge. It's just, to me, it's just, I get you, an amazing thing. Okay. Yes, it's gonna be amazing. And this guy is just perfect. I saw him on Instagram and I like him. And the reason I like him, because he's no against food, he's no against fruits, bananas and fruit. He's no against milk and this and that. He doesn't believe in that. And I thought that, maybe a few months ago, I saw him say, I like this guy. I like this coach. So he doesn't believe in that. He believes, and talking yesterday, I told him, up front, I don't take drugs, I don't take protein shakes, I don't take stuff, I don't take vitamin pills, I don't take anything. And he's okay, he's perfect with that. He likes the wellness, because to me, this is a sport. A sport supposed to be for your health. I don't understand why, if you're practicing any sport, you're gonna be dropping dead. Sport is for your health. You do a sport, you do physical activity, so you want to be healthy. And then you see, especially in this industry, people dropping dead. The only thing you can do, go on YouTube and find out people dropping dead every month from bodybuilding. So that's not my thing. So what do you think? I want to hear from you. Uh-huh. Any question, Carol? Anything that you guys want me to? Any question, please go ahead and take advantage. Enjoy. Take advantage. Enjoy the moment every day. Enjoy the opportunities. This is another thing that we fail. We fail taking advantages of the opportunities, and then when the opportunity is gone, we say, "Oh, I should have." And then it's the what if tripping. Then they start the what if tripping. What if? What if? What if? What if I would ask that question? Anyway, do whatever you want. Anybody? Okay, so nobody. I'm gonna leave. Have a great day. Next week, we do next week. On Thursday, I went earlier today, and usually it's at 2:30. Let me check here. Remember, my friends, okay, so the books, if you don't have books, I remember I have 6 books. This is book number 1, and this is, that's a, you have to, and about the divine destiny is book number 5. So go on Amazon and order my books. You want to make changes, you have to make an investment. I want to make changes in my competition. I have to invest in a coach. I have to make the investment, because if you don't pay the price for success, you pay the price for failure. I repeat, I say it again. If you don't pay the price for success, you pay the price for failure. It's up to you. Remember, we are constantly making decisions. And when we make the right choices, we make the right decisions, life works perfectly. I say pow, you say wow. Pow. Wow. Swayze, I am so proud of you, Josefina. How did you find this nutrition coach? Good question. Instagram, because when you have this is, and this, when you want something and you put it in your conscious mind, immediately, and you know how the mind works, and you have it in my book number 1, in my CDs that you find in my website. If you have an idea, I wanted a coach, I needed help, I needed help. And this is what happened. When you have this idea in your head, immediately the subconscious mind starts working, presenting you what you're looking for. Like if you say, oh, I like to buy a red refrigerator, and you never see, you don't see red refrigerator very often, and then you start seeing them all over the place. Or if you get a red car, you start seeing red cars. You know what I mean. So the same thing with me. I knew I wanted help. I knew I needed help for the last 3 years. The last 3 years, I've been struggling with that. I'm not satisfied with my progress. I'm not satisfied with the way I compete. I know I can be better. I know. And when you have a hunger, when you feel that, the subconscious mind take that information as an order, as a fact. She needs help. She needs a new person. He needs her. So what happened? In Instagram, I'm looking, and then he started. I saw his video, and the girl he prepares this girl from to compete in the MPC, which is the same organization I compete, and I've seen them. And this is another thing that happened this weekend, because for some reason, I knew he was going to be in that show. This is amazing. This is another supernatural thing that happened this weekend. For some reason, I knew that I didn't even know his name. Okay. I know the only thing I knew that I saw him in Instagram. I like his philosophy. I like the way he feels about food. He doesn't condemn food, blah, blah. Guess what? Are they doing on Sunday? They doing an award for coaches, and they had like about 15 coaches on stage, and I'm sitting in the audience waiting to get the award, because you have I'm waiting. So I went and sat in the audience to watch, and when I see the line of coaches, guess who was in the center? This guy, Paul. His name is Paul. With a baseball hat. Man, I got out. I went backstage waiting for him to come out off stage, and then I tapped his shoulder. He said, hi. Because previously, when I saw him the first time, I sent him a text saying, but I didn't follow through because you gotta be ready. So I said, hey, he said, oh my God, of course, they recognize me because I've been competing for 20 years. Everybody knows me in the sport. So he said, you look great last night because that was Sunday. So he saw me Saturday night. You look great. And I said, oh, well, coming from you, that's a big compliment. Thank you so much. And then I said, I want you to help me. I need you to help me. And then he said, well, let me take care of my client. It's because his clients were going out on stage, so they need to pump. You pump so your muscle get pumped. So I said, okay, no problem. So I was watching and watching and watching, making sure that before I left, I had connection with him again. And then when I saw him, now he has his phone in his hand, and they were taking pictures with the athlete. He's taking pictures with his client. Da, da, da. So I waited until he was okay, and then I approached and I said, "What is your Instagram?" Because I wanted to get his name. I didn't have anything; just I knew I saw him this video. So I used that excuse so I can get his Instagram page. And then we connected there, and then he said to me, "We're talking a phone call. Let's do a phone call." So I didn't call Monday. I talked to him yesterday. So we made an appointment yesterday at 2:45, and we had a beautiful, beautiful conversation. He's excited, and this is the thing: you have to have people in your team that is excited about your growth. They can believe that people believe in you, and this is what I like. I like the people who believe in you. No, I don't like the naysayers and the excuses and not like that. But anyway, so that's how I found him. Isn't that amazing, Swayze? And for him to be in that show, see the magic, it was magical. It was just miracle. Remember that Albert Einstein said, life is either a miracle or nothing at all. Life is a miracle. I mean, supernatural, supernatural. That's what I always say. Work on your body, your mind, and your spirit, and you will have the most amazing experiences. And even if you go through the tripping, like I did last week, tripping about competition, no competition, compete, no compete. And God says, you're competing. You are competing. I don't care what you say, Josefina. You are competing. And there I was, beautiful. And it has been, my life has changed since last weekend. I have a sense of a lot of peacefulness, a lot of happiness, a lot of contentment. Especially, I live right now like I feel in a different plane of reality. Because when you go through these experiences of supernatural transformation, it really does a job on your structure. As a person, as a human being, as a spiritual being. It's just beautiful. It's just an amazing thing. So I would highly recommend to do the body, mind, and spirit. Anybody else? Anything else before we go? Violeta, Violet. Okay, my friends. So remember, on Thursdays at 2:30, we're gonna keep the schedule. We're gonna try to keep the schedule up, like regular, so you guys can plan and join me. And let me know if you have any ideas, any ways we can develop people who want to sponsor me competing for this next 6 months. Um, and that's it. You just remember the books. Go in Amazon. You need your books. You need your books. You need my books. You need your books. You need your Bible. You need to study. You need to be perfect. You need to be impeccable. You need to be your best. And with that, I said, "Pow." You said, "Wow." Mario, are you still here or you left? And this is another thing. Instead of doing my double bicep here, I have to go higher like that. See the difference? You see the difference between here and here? What do you think? Here, here. Huh? Big difference, don't you think? Okay, ciao. And yes. Bye, everybody.